Well, hello, welcome to Drawing with Fire. I'm Valarie, your neighborhood pyrography artist, here to help guide you on your burning adventures. So today, I am so running behind. Oh, and I'm joined with hubby,
Hubcap.
reading the questions and comments, and we're going to be focusing on white/light fur and hair. I, of course, am running behind, so I don't have any of my lines laid out, so I have to quickly draw those. Hi Eve, hi Paul. Our awesome moderators are in. So I quickly pulled a few things that we can look at burning. Brain. So here is the Santa beard that I'm going to quickly kind of draw out just the basic lines. I'm using the board from last week just so I can save on wood. And I don't have to do it very big. Something is making noise.
It's your tablet.
I lowered the volume. Okay, so I'm just doing
That's definitely your tablet.
the side of his face. And I just need a few lines showing me where I'm going to go. So we'll get the beard in there. I'm not going to do full pieces because that's just too much. But I can lay this out so that I know where my lines are going to go. So we got the Santa hat here. The big pom-pom. And then the next one I pulled, I'm going to have to look from screen because I didn't print that one out, is somebody had asked for kitty whiskers and things of that nature. So we'll do, let's see here, make sure, I know you guys can't see because the photo's up, but I kind of need the photo. So we got kitty mouth. I thought of you, Eve, for this one.
So we have Robert Ortlet.
Hi, Robert.
And as well as Ian Jackson.
Hi, Ian.
And Angel and Meg are here as well.
Hi, Angel. Hi, Meg. Yes, we missed you, Meg.
I hope Paul's feeling better this week.
Oh, I do too. Alright, so I'm just getting in some quick lines.
Now, Angel, you didn't miss anything.
Nope. I'm running behind.
No, you're right on time.
Not for this.
No.
Yeah.
You have to Gandalf it.
Have to Gandalf it?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
An artist starts their live stream precisely when they mean to.
I'm talking about my lines, though.
They're never late.
Let's see here. Nothing's going to be perfect. I just want to know where I'm going.
So Ian says, hello, I finally got to one of your lives.
Glad you made it, Ian. Let's see here. So, it's not perfect, but it doesn't have to be. And then I also printed out some fake fur, which will still be, I don't know if we're going to get to that one, and I didn't put a picture up, so.
Andrew is with us as well.
Hi, Andrew. Hope you have ears this time.
And Philip.
Hi, Philip.
Ikobaki says hello.
So, I don't know if you'll be able to see. This is just fake fur. I printed it out. I didn't do a...
Looks real.
But it's not.
We could say it's real.
We can say it's real. It's just a few lines so I know where I'm going. Oh, Philip is the one we congratulated in the last live for winning his blue ribbon.
Oh, is that Philip?
That is Philip.
Oh, that was amazing work. Great job.
So proud for him. It always feels good to get that validation that you're on the right track. So if we get to this, we got some fur lines. So I will start with Santa's beard, and I did want to show you. Ian, the pencil I'm using came in a Smart Art box. It is just, I don't know how well you can read that. a draft line number XA05.5 millimeter.
Oh, it is a mechanical pencil.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I switched over to mechanical. And I'm going to be using the Optima for this one. And I think we'll start with Santa's, just his beard and side of his face. I did want to show you I have black and white photos. That's not a black and white. Why did I label that black and white?
If I did it, you could have blamed it on my dyslexicness.
That's odd.
But you can't.
I can't. Okay. Well, I have a black and white of the Santa. I don't know why
Santa's beard looks like goat hair.
we're not getting it. And I can switch over the photo real quick. It's going to be huge. Oh well. Trying to. There we go. Still running behind. Oh, that would be because the picture's not black and white. Okay, never mind.
Wow, Andrew. Andrew says his wife can't wait till the snow comes. Must be her medication. Andrew,
you don't need medication for snow.
Don't get Val started
I
on snow.
love snow.
I have to hear about it all year long. Where's the snow? Why isn't it snowing yet?
Hi,
Because
Grace.
it's July, Valarie.
Okay, well here's my photo. It's like really big, but what I wanted to show you in black and white, and it's just a draft printout, is white is never, in general, really white. You're going to have your white that was where the light is hitting it, but then this white that is underneath and behind is different gradients of gray. And it's the same for the hair. Only where the light is really hitting the hair is that a white hair. So that does make it a little easier. Gives you a little bit of room to have some fun. Alright, so I'm going to start off with the spear shader on 2. And I didn't tape this up, so I'm going to have to look to the side. So we know his face. I'm going to have to go upside down, guys. Easiest way for me to get to it. And I'm going to go right up against the line, but not burn on the line, just to get a bit of a shadow here. This would go darker. It's just so I know where I'm at.
It doesn't seem to be burning very much.
Hmm?
It doesn't seem to be burning very
It's just really light. I'm going to bump it up to 3.
Oh, okay.
That's all. Get that in there. Remember, the slower you go, the darker it'll burn. Am I in the right pen? Yes, I'm on the right pen.
What's the wrong pen?
Oh, cord.
Oh, okay.
I meant cord.
Gotcha.
I wanted to make sure I had it turned on the right one. So this is the side of the face. Just want to kind of get it in there. I've bumped it up to 4. The Optima has a lot of low temperature, so just got to find the one I want.
That's good. So Angel, she triggered a conversation in the Toasty chat that it's cold front in CHS. It's 67 degrees Fahrenheit, haha. And this triggered a response from people who are checking in with their temperatures around the world.
So what do we got?
Well, Robert Ortleb was winning.
He's in Canada.
Yeah, and he's negative 40 there. That's like weather where I grew up.
That's Celsius.
No.
He's in Canada.
I know, but I believe he's speaking in
Oh,
Fahrenheit.
okay. Oh, that is possible. All right, zoomed in a little bit better. Actually,
And
I
they
guess
just had their snow, their first snow.
I'm so jealous.
So.
All right, there we go. See a little bit better. Because I'm using very tip of the pen, it was burning lighter. And it gave it a minute to heat up, so I'm bumping it back down. Gonna stick to around the 3.
I'll be right back. I have to do something important.
Oh, okay. Well, then I shall glance.
Okay.
So I'm not going to go into too much detail on the skin or the face. I'm just trying to get a shadow there so I know where I'm going. There we go. Yep, Robert, you build up. Start low and build up those layers. Kind of like you would in colored pencil. It's easier to remove a light burn if you put it in a place you don't want it versus trying to get rid of a dark burn. And so now I got rid of my pencil line so I know where I'm going. Now, his beard is coarse. So in doing that, you kind of need to burn a lot of hairs in. And I'm going to switch over to the Optima skew. I don't know, Gray. Actually, yes, I believe he is getting food. He had something in the oven. So this is a skew. You can use this one for hair and fur or the number 17. And I am going to start, I think, with the hat. And hair and fur is done in clumps. You don't have to put every line in. I guess if I'm on the screen, you guys can see what I'm doing. Let's see here. So there's always a bit of value in white. So I don't want to put every stroke in. Let's see here. This is the right side of the photo and the light is coming from the left, so this side is going to be darker. So I'm just quickly kind of grouping the hairs together, and then I'll go back and shade some of the darker areas. Robert, this is birch, and I've got 2 woods I prefer, and that's basswood and birch. I get my Baltic birch from Dick Blick, and I will leave a link down in the description. So over here would be lighter, because more light is hitting it, and we have more shadow on the right. But even here, I'm not putting in every hair. I'm just trying to get groups together and build it up.
So did you already ask, or did you already answer Robert's question about building it?
Yes.
Okay. Grace, you caught me.
Well, I already told her that I thought that's what you were doing. Actually, at first I thought you were going to the bathroom.
No, I had started some homemade pizza bread.
I can't have it.
Can
I?
You could.
Alright, so I've got some of these lines in. I can go a little darker. So I'm going to bump up to 3.5. Because this is a thinner tip, as in it's thin in its thickness.
Shh, sorry.
Oop. It doesn't take as long to heat up. So I've gone a little darker, and let's see here. Make sure I'm on the screen, and I'm going to put in the under shading. I so can hear you.
I'm further away from the mic. No one can hear me.
And I can also, and it's going to be darker, but I can also use the side or the very end of the tip on its side to shade and make some areas thicker. And then I'll move over to the coarse hair tip, which is the number 17. There we go. I hope Sheldine comes in so I can tell her we ordered her wood burner. Let's see. And so it's just really repetition of building up, not putting everything straight lined and in it separately, but in groups together.
So, why is the tip blue? Is that just a trick of the light?
I think it's just the metal.
Okay.
It's just the metal.
Robert asks, do you grind your own tips?
I can, but I don't. I've got so much to do that's just not
That is true.
something that I've ventured into. I could with my Dremel, and I do have a, what are they called? I have a little thingy that I can wrap the wire around to make my own tips. It's just really time consuming, so I haven't done it yet.
Okay.
But I should. So over here is lighter, so we would put less together, but it still needs. I can hear that.
All right.
We're so mirrors.
I apologize if I miss any questions due to my absence, but I didn't want the pizza to burn.
Oh, that's important.
It is important.
Can't have the pizza burn.
Oh, it's wasting food.
I know. So I'm just putting in the darker clumps, and we'll go back with some negative burning and tighten it up. Put them together. Let's see here.
Is negative burning where you criticize the art while you're doing it?
I yell at it
Yeah.
until it burns the way I want it to.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
That's very technical.
Negative burning is burning around an area. So this is a thicker area where the fur is touching the face and it has no highlights. It's more of a shadow.
That's right, Meg. Priorities.
Can't burn that pizza. Alright, so I'll come back to this area. We're going to start with the fur, or I'm sorry, his beard. It really is a lot of bouncing around. It's easier to do certain values at once, even if it's all over the piece. It also keeps me from falling asleep while I'm burning, of which I have dozed off.
And that's why I'm here.
No.
Oh.
You're here.
Esme asked,
Hey, Esme.
is this the bear? Did you start over?
No, this is not the bear, and I did not start over. I'm still very tempted to, though.
Don't start over.
The cub that I'm doing with Sheldine.
No, I like that. You put a lot of time into it.
I know.
Just because you don't like it doesn't mean other people don't like it.
The things aren't coming out right on the water. Okay, so with this pin, it's easier to twist to get where you touch down is going to be darker.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to start off light.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Some of this goes this way. And I'm doing it on low heat. I'm going to bump it up, but it's just so I can kind of get the flow in there.
Okay. Are you also making like an indentation in the wood?
Yes, it does make a little bit of an indentation.
Okay.
Which I like. Some people...
Well, that's why I was asking. I didn't know if that was a technique that you were using to your advantage.
I do. Okay, so we'll just get some beard in here. We'll use the thinner skew tip to put in thinner hairs.
So Robert asked if I'm the husband.
He is the hubby.
And Grace says he's just a peanut gallery.
He's...
Both those are true statements, by the way.
Yes, he's my wonderful hubby. Here to help. Alright, I'm not going to do like a full-on.
So, did you say that you couldn't eat the pizza because you're working, or is it because it has stuff in it? Because it doesn't have stuff in it that's bad for you.
Oh, okay.
I made it on the kind of bread that doesn't have the things that are bad for you.
Oh, thank you. Alright. So I bumped up my heat to 4. It's going to take a second to go up. So now I know kind of where the hairlines are going to be. There are some thinner ones out here on his cheek, but I'm not going to worry about those right now. The biggest thing is going with making sure that you're going in the direction that it needs to be going in.
Robert asks, is it true that Val got her start in wood burning from cooking with the fire alarm?
Yeah, he keeps trying to make that my narrative. He was doing that in Kildeen's.
Was he?
Yes. He's trying to rewrite my story.
Rewrite history.
I don't do that.
Thank you, Paul. I am more than the marshmallow gallery.
This is true. So since I went higher, I can, in the heat, in the setting, I can go back with this pen and setting and kind of deepen my darks. I will say I've never done either Santa beard or fur like this.
No, but you've done lots of fur. Lots of fur.
That's true. With this one, I can move quicker.
The beard, you mean? Because of it, you can move quicker, or is it
the pen?
Oh, the pen.
This pen moves easier. It doesn't get as caught as easy in the wood grain. And then I can also use it on the side, just the tip of it, to kind of fill it in. For me, this is a very versatile tip.
Is Angel leaving?
I don't know.
Paul said, see you, Angel. Take care. I didn't see it in chat, though.
I hope you feel better.
No, I see it.
Is Angel okay?
No, she's just losing connection.
Ah.
See you next week, Angel.
Unless you come back, and then we'll see you now.
Yep.
Alright, so we're going to... The hair comes obviously down. And it's going to need... some shadowing. And I'm just trying to work in there. Some of this is really dark up against the hat because of shading. Went a little darker than I wanted. You never pick the quiet stuff to eat, do you?
I do.
No, you don't.
So, I made spaghetti a few days ago, which was all natural.
Mm-hmm.
And then what we always do with spaghetti when we can is I will put it on something like pita bread, or in this case it's bread, and make it into pizza. And that way it makes the food go farther.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So some of it I'm not going to burn. I need to burn around it to give it its shape. That is not quiet. That's what I meant by you don't pick the quiet stuff. And see, because the tip kind of gouged the wood, in some areas it's not going to burn, which you can use to your advantage to have the white highlights.
I see.
And it's just a lot of repetition. And I can move it sideways and just kind of you still want burning in here, just obviously not every bit. And then if you're doing darker hair, you do it the same way. It would just have, you just leave the high highlights.
Michael Zerker or Zercher is here.
Hi,
He
Michael.
says hi all.
Does everything sound okay? I moved the mic closer to me, and Windows decided to update and change all my settings. So I just want to make sure it sounds okay. So I just want to leave the gaps for the whiter. Keep going off screen. And going in the shape. Granted, because I freehanded this, it is going to be off. That's going to be okay.
I always like to think when you're freehanding something that you're just interpreting it, because those hairs could move into those positions. You know,
That's true.
Santa rubbed his beard, then it might be exactly on. Which is the thing I say to let myself off the hook when I'm painting.
Is that what you say? Okay.
Grace says, yeah, sounds great. Here Jason's crunch as well.
Oh, gosh.
Sorry.
That's what I mean. He always picks the loud stuff to eat.
I'm sorry. I got toasty. I wanted to go with a toasty theme.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, since we're not using a torch, sorry.
You said the T word. Well, Eve's awake now. It really is crunchy, love. I'm sorry. You're gonna cover your mouth with it. He's covering his mouth, his head with this hoodie, thinking that that's going to.
Is that better? I think it is.
Yes, it's better. But you shouldn't have to do that.
I will peek out from behind my fortress of solitude to check on chat.
Oh, the new people are gonna think we're nuts.
Oh, this is cool. This is like culture. I feel like Phantom of the Opera.
Okay. So, where the hair goes closer into the face, there's going to be shadow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can't do this with a straight face with you underneath there. And sometimes you could hear that.
Sorry.
What was that about? Okay. Bring this down a bit.
Robert says, you use a torch?
I have, yes. Oh, Robert, don't get him started. Eve loves the torch. It makes her happy.
I don't have marshmallows with me today anyway.
Oh, I think we're out of them.
What?
Or close to it. So I'm just trying to get some more shape. Let's see here. White hair is doable. It's just a pain. And this is a little too dark, so I'm going to have to cover it a bit.
How?
I'm burning around it so that it doesn't look... Right now, it always, just like with any artwork, it's ugly stage for a long time. And then once you get those shading contrast in, it looks better.
The ugly stage is always frustrating to me.
It is. It is because I have to keep reminding. I'll get it about 30 minutes in, and it's ugly. And I'm feeling it right now that I did it wrong, and it would just be easier to start over. And I have to push through it and keep going, because I know once I do that, I can, in general, bring it around. I'm not fighting with the wood, and that was the only reason I was looking at restarting the bear cub. It's on watercolor paper, and I'm fighting that paper. The wood would be so much easier. So I feel that with every piece that I want to start over, that I did a bad job and it looks horrible. Let's see here. We have some darks in here. That will help.
So Robert says, so you build lines and weed out to build up a dark spot.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out how to translate the question in my head. I try to get the darks in, not fully dark, because I need to be able to have some leeway. If something happens, I can go back and fix it. But by burning around my lines and close to my lines, I can erase them easier, and I don't have to outline. Because right now this looks like an outline, and that is not what I tend to go for, is the outline look.
Yeah.
So I should have done it this way for the hat. What I'm doing here is just lightly dancing across the board with the tip to get my clumps. It actually looks better that way. So erase those lines. I'm going to switch back over to the shader so I can start.
Ooh, squirrel.
Jason just looked out the window, I'm guessing. Is that
Yes.
what you did?
Oh yeah, it's one of those big ones.
Albert squirrels?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here.
He's on the tree there.
Going back to the spear shader, bump it down to 3. Here I'm on the right. There we go. And then burn in.
Sheldine's here.
Hey, Sheldine! You're awake! I ordered it. Well, we need to do some talking, but he's getting it ready for you. And this is one of the pins with the order. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay. But we need to discuss shipping. Alright. Trying to get this darker. It's not on. No, these are heavy duty pin cords. Gotta give it a minute. And the other pin that we're ordering for you is this one, which is coarse hair and fur. And this skew that also does really fine lines and hair, fur. So, because I'm using the tip of the pen, it's burning lighter. I don't know why. Why are we having a problem? Should not be having a problem.
Sheldine says, "Yay, I'm getting a burner."
Yay! Oh, I wasn't plugged in all the way. My fault.
What?
I was wondering why I was hearing buzzing and it wasn't burning.
Oh.
I was not plugged in all the way. So, and this shader can also do lines when you put it on the side. But now I need to bump it down because I have it so high because I didn't plug it in all the way.
Oh.
User error.
Well, now we know.
Yep. Alright, so make sure I'm on screen. Sheldine, this is hubby.
Hello, Sheldine. You do amazing work. Val talks about you all the time in
She's
a positive way.
Sweetheart.
Yes.
Can't wait to get her calendar.
Yeah.
So we have 2 YouTube creators on here. We have Sheldine and our moderator Eve. I highly suggest you check out both their channels. Alright. So now I'm working around because some of the hair is going to be darker, I can go ahead and shade a bigger area and then put the lines in. Or use an X-Acto knife to pull the hairs out. I don't like doing it that way, but you can do it that way. Let's see here.
Well, you got some questions here.
Go for it.
Michael asks, how often do you strop your tips?
Maybe 6 months.
And Shieldine is asking, so it heats up almost instantly?
In less than a minute.
Okay.
Right around. Let's see here. Each tip is different. It depends on how thick the metal is for the tip. This one's a thin one, so I think it took 10 seconds.
Is Ian a creator too?
Oh, I'm sorry, Ian. Yes, you do have a channel. Yes. I'm sorry. Ian also has a wonderful art channel as well. Everybody does all different kinds of art, and I think that's beneficial to watch.
I think so too.
I love watching what other people do. And Sheldine's really been pushing the envelope with her 25 lives for the month of November.
Good Lord.
Every night. For the US, it's Sunday through Thursday. And she's doing different mediums and whatnot in each one. Today's a doggy. Her Patreon supporters put in pictures, and she's doing a random drawing every day. And then the next day she does the picture. So I'm just trying to get in the negative around what I know is light. And then like this area is hair, but I can go back in and put darker lines. But it's darker hair, so I'm not worried about it.
Esme has a question.
Yes.
Is the wood hot once you burn it, or does it cool down instantly?
Nope, it's hot.
Especially when you use a torch and it's on fire.
Yes. No, it takes a couple seconds to, about 15 seconds to cool off. And paper actually is, even though it's paper, it actually takes higher heat in general. And it takes almost a minute for paper to cool off.
Mm.
I haven't burned myself with a pen, but I have. The paper has gotten my attention when I've rested my hand in an area I just burned. See, some of the hair is not going to burn. In fact, I can use this cool pen.
Cool pen?
Well, meaning the pen is not hot.
Oh.
It's turned off. I can use this coarse hair tip, and I can gouge the wood, emboss it, and that way when I burn over it, it won't burn. It'll stay white. As long as the tip does not get down in it. Actually, I'm glad.
So you're embossing it like a boss.
Yeah. So it's turned off. You can also use a butter knife for this.
A butter knife?
Mm-hmm. Just not the serrated side of it.
That was going to be my next question.
Yeah, as long as it's not serrated. Alright, in fact, I'll put some white down in here, just so we can see it. Now with the shader, it should leave the lines. This one turned on has a good chance of going into the groove, but this one shouldn't. Let's see here, I'm going to turn it down a little bit.
Oh man, Eve had to use her mom voice on me.
Oh, you got
Sorry,
in
Eve.
trouble.
I wasn't hiding enough. You should when you read the chat this time. It's chat's pretty entertaining. They're talking about flying monkeys, and actually, Wukong, the Monkey King, just came up. And apparently, Angel. Are you into Kung Fu, or is it just Bruce Lee? Because she's talking about it right now.
Oh, she was able to come back?
Yeah, she's back.
Oh, good. Let's see here. Right now I'm trying to get a good heat adjustment so that I can go over what I just gouged into the wood. I may have to use a pick. It's kind of... the higher the heat, the more it'll show up. And I am starting to see it. Alright, we're at 3.5. So hopefully, I'm going to go opposite to how I embossed it so that my tip doesn't fall down into the groove that we made. This one I did. Alright, or you're going to have to go higher.
How much higher?
I went a little over 4. Let's see here. I may have to do a little thicker line, though for the fake fur, that actually works. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit more heat. What I can use... I don't have any of my picks in here. What I can use, I think, we shall see, is a diamond tipped file.
No, I'm a girl now.
You're a girl now?
Apparently.
Let's see here. This might be too...
Charlene says it's 5:45 a.m. there.
Oh, you're up early. I thought you were going to be...
She says she got to get ready for her day.
Oh, I thought you were going to be in bed longer. I sent you some messages on the info, and I will call back after the live. Alright, let's see how this works. This is a little thicker, so we'll see how well it pops out. Let's see how hot are we. This is going to be hot touching down. Because I rested the pen, it had time to reheat.
So Ian Jackson has a question.
Mm-hmm.
When a hot tip touches the wood, does that lower the temperature of the tip? And should you increase the temperature to compensate for the loss?
It does slightly lower the tip, and instead of lowering it, if you're right where you want to be, you want to see. Right now I'm doing quickly, and that keeps the heat at this color. But if I slow down and let the wood, one area of the wood get more contact, it's going to go darker. In theory. Why does it always do this for the lives?
Do what?
Makes me look bad. I've got the pen fully contact the whole bottom of the tip. Might take a minute to... Let's see here.
How often did you say that you sanded your tips?
I don't sand at all. When I polish my tips, it's only if they absolutely need it.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't need it, I don't do it. Right now, it's over 6 months.
David Rooks is here.
Hi, David.
He says, "Hi, Val, I'm here. No need to stress anymore. Wondering where's Dave."
Yeah. All is right with the world now. We have David. Alright. I'm going to go up higher just so you can see. I don't know if the camera's picking up very well that I kind of scratched the wood. And I'm trying, maybe if I zoom in and keep it right here so I don't go off screen, you guys can see it better. And hopefully it stays in focus. Alright, I upped my heat, so it's going to be darker when I touch down. Yeah, a lot darker. And then when I speed up, it doesn't have as much time contact with that one area, so it's lighter. It's the biggest thing is with this is pin control. I can do a lot of work with just one heat setting. Let's see. I'm still not even on screen. Gosh.
I'm out of hiding.
You're out of hiding now? All done?
Yep.
How well can you guys see that now that I kind of gouged the wood?
You can see it really well.
There we go. So that is one way to keep your highlights, your ones that you want really bright, is to kind of scratch the wood with a fine point and indent it a little bit.
Oh, and then the burn skips over it.
The burning skips over it. Yeah. Let's see here. I did it here with that one tip, but it's not showing up as well. So right now, these are the
you're
one.
kind of off screen.
Which screen are you looking
Okay,
at?
you're back.
Okay. If you're looking at YouTube, it's delayed. Alright, so.
Sheldine says, forgive my brief visit to go, but should see some of you later.
Thank
Looking
you for
forward to getting
stopping
her
by.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly thought it was going to be too early for her. It's awesome that he did stop by. So again, it looks ugly, but it's a matter of building it up. Switching in between the heat setting you want. And actually, I just realized what I drew out was this was part of the hat. That's okay.
Oh.
I'm just going to erase that line and act like it wasn't there.
What line?
Exactly.
Ah.
And again, when I touch down, I try to touch down in a darker area because I know it's going to be hotter or darker on the initial touchdown. And then drag it to where I was working. I just wanted to build this up a little bit. And see, I can take this pen and then start putting in theory. Start putting in some darker hairs.
Bye, Sheldine.
Bye, Sheldine. I'll see you later. Put in some darker ones that don't... Think of the dark lines as the edge or underneath of the hair versus the hair itself.
So Paul says, is it me or does this currently look like the side of Dave Grohl's neck? Which leads me
very possible.
Which leads me to a question. Then is Dave Grohl secretly Santa?
Is he? He does bring joy to people. Okay, so I'm just going on next to the lines, leaving some areas.
Clarice K says,
Hi, Clarice.
Hello, Clarice. I bet she never hears that. Ever. Sorry.
Let's see here. Let's see if I can get this in there. And some of it, because I have blobs here, I'm just going to work those in. Maybe make the shadow a little bigger. And it really is just going over things over and over again until you get what you want, tone-wise. I'm using the side of the pen, left side, and then I twist it. What?
Grace is yelling at me again.
Oh, what'd you do now?
I made the Clarice joke.
Oh.
Paul's getting off scot-free today.
Oh, you're taking the brunt of it.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I think because right now it does not look good for me. Maybe if I add some more of the face shading, it'll feel less off.
Angel has to go again.
Bye, Angel. Let's see here. Just darken this up a little bit. And it's just building this up over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to quickly... I know it doesn't look all that awesome.
It actually does, though.
No, it doesn't.
People have been commenting that it looks good.
There we go.
But I think, and this is why I don't want you to redo the bear, because it's so much work, and the bear's fur looks amazing.
Well, but I can get it done quicker on wood. and have it come out smoother in general.
Yeah.
So I would leave a couple of areas that you burn around that is just white. Kind of what I'm doing here, and then it pulls out looking more white. I haven't adjusted my heat. The tip's hotter, and I'm going a little slower. It just gives me more options. I try as much as I can to not lift the pen off the board until I'm ready. That way I can maintain the same heat setting. Right now I just lift it up, so it's going to be a little darker.
So Ian says great tonality.
Thank you.
Paul says it's a rest day for him, so he's being a good lad for once.
Oh, good.
Grace says a star for Paul. Wow. So
Paul
got a gold star,
and you're getting
I got yelled at twice.
I know. So really it's just building it up. And now we're going to switch over to the whiskers. I even have a little problem with the whiskers, especially when they're fine. So I don't like scratching out, which is an option. In fact, if I took the X-Acto knife, where did I put it? Where did I put it?
Well, Esme says, and I agree with this, you're your own worst critic, Val. That the bear looks good, too. And it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it
Well,
does.
the water doesn't.
Well, you know what? That's subjective as well. But, you know, I think that the more of a critic that you are of your own work, I mean, that it can be a good thing because it drives you to
Do better.
But just as long as you're not, like, overly critical or negative about your work.
Negative about it. So really, I'm using the back or the side of the X-Acto knife. This one got broke and it actually works really well for me.
I do that too because the tips break off, but it makes better for scraping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and just lift out the area that you really want white. I forgot to turn it off again. Sorry, guys. I turned everything off but that. I'm not used to the alarm being on for turning off the heater. So this way you can, and that's why this needs to be darker because it'll show up better.
That's interesting, Clarice. Clarice says it's actually the first time anyone did that. I'm not going to talk about it because I don't want Grace to yell at me. But
to do what?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I'm lost.
You have to read chat.
Okay, I'll read chat. See, this does damage the wood, so I would save it to the very end. And then you also have the option of using a white pencil on top. This is just a charcoal white that I grabbed. And to be honest, for white for hair, for the highlights, I think this is the best way to go.
Now, if your wood is different tones, do you need to find different shades of white, or?
No. In fact, if it's a darker wood, it should show up better. And honestly, I like the Prismacolor the best for adding to wood.
Speaking of dark wood, Ian asks, what is the darkest wood you've ever worked with, and how do you deal with darker woods? In
general, I don't. Yew was the darkest one that I worked on. And that one's kind of a yellowy dark. I'm trying to think. It was your piece.
With the fox?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I really can't answer that because I try to stay away from darker wood, knowing that my burning would have a hard time showing up.
Ah.
So I try not to.
So you'd have to burn like much hotter to get this.
Yeah, it would have to be darker, yes.
Ah.
You'd have to burn darker.
Well, that makes sense. So David asks, when buying wood for burning, do you have to worry about the moisture content in the wood?
No, because the wood that I buy, the basswood or the birch, is already been kiln dried. And I get my basswood, except for this piece, from Dick Blick. And that's Baltic wood. Anyway, honestly, I think if you're going to do like Santa, and I picked Santa because, with the holidays coming up, I know people are going to be using a lot of Santa imagery. I would burn in my darks, not worry about the high highlights as much, and then come back over with a white pencil. This is a charcoal pencil, so when it's varnished, it is going to lighten up and almost disappear. If you can go into my drawers over there and grab a Prismacolor white.
Okay.
I forgot. I didn't even think to grab one.
Okay. Prismacolor white?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I think it's the third drawer down.
Meg has a question.
Yes, please.
Okay. If someone wants a design on an already whitewashed piece of wood, is that possible, or do I need to sand, burn, and rewash?
For that, you would have to strip to get all of the paint and or stain off, sand it, and make sure it's completely raw wood, and then you can do it and rewash it. Let's see here. I guess grab those.
All of them?
I'll just grab them. Yeah. I just want to show them because this is charcoal. It's gonna go away.
Oh.
And Prismacolor, though it's going to be lighter on the wood. Once you spray seal it, it'll be fine. It's not as bright as the charcoal. This is the Carandash Pablos. Right? Yeah. So the charcoal definitely works better, but it's going to disappear. And just kind of, but with using the white, let's see here, that's Prisma, oh, okay. It just gets the high highlights and works out a little bit better. I would definitely get his curls in there. Ah! That hurt my teeth.
What just happened?
Oh, charcoal.
Oh.
You know how it does that?
Does what?
It kind of squeaks.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
So his hair is a little more curly. So I would find the most basis of his hair. So that would be, this is a group, that's a group. So all these hairs, I'd burn darker here. If you kind of like draw it out on your pattern so that you see what the bigger group is. And now that I burned on this, or put white on it, I can't burn over it again. So.
David asks, is wood burning like a hairdryer? Should you not do it in the bath?
Yes, please don't do it in the bath. Might not be as fun. But not in the... I have no idea who that person is calling. Go away. Alright. And even here, you just kind of... Because I didn't like transfer the way I normally do. Mm-hmm. These are the groups that you can leave. And then looking, this is a group of shadow right here. Actually, it kind of does look like that. So this can be darker, a little lighter, and you got your highlights. So that's how you find the groups. Just look for those clumps of hair together and try to burn them. Let's see, that goes like that. Hopefully that helps you see a little bit easier. And then of course you've got your fine hairs, but you don't have to draw those in. Just look for your clumps. Like here's his pom-pom. You know, this right here, the pom-pom, is a clump. Hopefully that helps a little bit. And I don't have a printout of the cat, so I'm going to have to pretend I know what I'm doing. Okay.
Question. How much longer do you want to go? We're at noon right now.
I at least want to try to do the whiskers. The whiskers are white. I know the cat's lighter.
Okay.
When I do whiskers, I try to go on either side of my whisker line really light, so I know how far I can burn, and then erase the line. Hopefully I'm not, I need to turn the camera so it's closer to, so just trying to, because remember you can always pull it in, so it's okay if it's a little further out. And what is on the board? Oh, I know what's on the board. Right here, I sanded this sticker off, but it didn't take it all the way off, and I forgot about it. So I'll focus up here.
Okay.
That's what the white is that you're seeing. Okay, so I've got my whiskers right here. I don't feel like this live has been very helpful.
No, I think it has been, because you can see the process of how you're doing, you know, the fur and the hair. It's actually been very informational. That's a word.
Informational. Okay, so...
Informative.
Informative.
Also a word.
So we've got two whisker lines that connect. And I know that the cat is lighter, but this is okay. So I would just burn the direction of the hair. I'm not going too detailed yet. It doesn't matter what color the cat is, I would go lighter. It's just so I can see where the whisker is and going up to it without getting rid of it. You can always draw it in, like we did with some of the hair on Santa, but if you're not wanting to do that, I lightly burn where that wasn't light. So dark hair would go here. You just burn right up to that line and kind of leave it out. And if you wanted to later, you can go back and scratch it out or add the white. Honestly, I think the white added to whiskers looks, and that's all the white that's on there, looks awesome. And I need to start doing that more. Let's see. So right next to the whisker.
Esme says you're doing great, Val, and Robert says it looks so cool, Val.
Thank you. They're just so nice.
They speak truth.
We have such awesome people in chat.
We really do.
And see, some of these are also from Chaldean's chat. Clarice, Esme, and Robert, and David. So we got two awesome live groups in one. Alright, so I can even use the side of this tip to put some fur in, but I've left the whisker without outlining it. And I think that's the biggest thing, doing whatever you can without outlining.
So David has an interesting question. He says, I know it's wood burning, but do you think there's any danger fume-wise in doing this in a room with shelter chickens? I'm assuming he means birds. He has birds, maybe?
Oh, it should be fine. Yeah.
And if so, would different woods affect the toxicity?
That is a possibility. I would definitely check online to make sure, especially if you're looking at doing an exotic wood. Some are quite toxic when burned. As long as you aren't producing a lot of smoke, which if you notice, you're not seeing any smoke as I'm burning, and that's because I'm at a lower heat setting. So I'm getting a little smoke here because I've got sticker here. I'm trying to go around.
If you'd like to see the contrast with smoke, just like go back to the gourd burning when you were prepping the gourd with the torch.
That was a lot of smoke.
That was a lot of smoke.
Well, I can show smoke. Let's see here. I'm going to bump this up to around 6. Yep, I'm going to get smoke from this. So.
Oh, yeah. Wow, you can really see it.
Yeah, that's a 6.
Wow, it's just 6.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of variation on that pen, isn't there?
On the professional pens, yeah.
Well, I mean specifically the Optima.
Yeah, it does a good job. So that's a 5. Let's see here. That's a 6. Can you see the smoke? Or that's 5. Can you see the smoke on the screen?
I can't see the smoke in real life on that one. But,
well, there was a little bit there.
But when you had it up to 6, I could definitely see it. So.
And then as you go down, of course, there is sometimes smoke when you touch down, even at a lower setting.
So you can see it a little bit.
Yeah.
So. Andrew says, mesmerizing. You make it look so simple, Valarie.
Oh, Andrew, you have no problems doing this stuff. You do a beautiful job.
She really does make it look simple, though.
No, I don't.
You're like, oh, I'll just draw some fur. Nah, and that's in. Now, the time it takes,
Yeah,
that's a different thing altogether.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh my God, when are you going to be done? And you're like, oh, I've made some great progress. There's a square inch. Oh, it's dark now.
How does it look now? Did you do anything?
Sometimes I do feel that way, but because you're so connected to the work that you see the nuance.
So you can lightly burn up to the whisker line that you created.
Parrots. Shoulder chickens are parrots.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
I think it would be fine, but if you're concerned, I mean, you always want ventilation, pretty much with any art supplies that you work with in general. I guess colored pencil isn't quite as bad. Right now I'm kind of thinning it out because I did a bigger area for the whisker, so I'm just kind of thinning it out to make it a little bit more realistic. Let's see here. And I can change the shape of the whisker, bring it thinner. But I suggest starting off lighter on your setting so that you have this wiggle room. If I would have burned, let's see here, I'll just do one here. If I burn right next to it and I burn hot, and this goes back to the outlining as well. But so I'm burning hotter along the edge. Whoops, I went too far. But the thing is, I've now gouged my wood, and trying to do what I did here isn't going to work because it's off.
Why is it off?
Well, my line, I can't adjust it. I mean, I could, but if I'm working even on a black cat and I try to thin it out, I'm gouging the wood at this higher heat. And actually, I haven't changed my heat. I'm using the edge of the pen where it's thinner.
Oh, okay.
But I have less control on how big or small
Yeah, it's
I can't.
It's a pretty uniform line.
Yeah, I can't grow or shrink the whisker anymore.
Yeah, because it's so well defined.
Yeah, even with the black cats, I would start off lighter and then just build this up. I know it takes more time, but if you're going for realism,
I like to think what you do, it reminds me a lot of the time of like when you have a Polaroid camera and you take a picture and then you're waiting for the for the photo to come in.
yeah.
And that's what it feels like, because it's like at first it's like very light, and then as you build values, it comes into focus. But so that's what it feels like to me.
So, and then when I'm happy with where the whisker is, I can turn around and go, okay, black cat, and start putting in some nuance furs. I'm not going off a reference here. I'm just.
Eve says she has furry shoulder chickens.
Her cats.
I thought those were long-tailed rats.
Ooh.
I'm just kidding.
Mama Eve's gonna yell at you.
We have cats. We love our cats.
So if this was white fur.
Don't yell at me.
And I would just go lighter. I'd start off with a much lower setting. I just bump down to 2. So we have, let's see here, light fur still, even white fur has depth to it. So,
yeah.
But see, because I did this lighter close to the whisker line, but not on it, I can keep it lighter. But if this was a white cat or a light cat with this whisker line, you can't do anything with it other than darken up the cat.
That feels like a throwback to outlining versus not outlining.
It is. They all work hand in hand.
One of those stars for me.
Oh.
And a cat face. Just so I know.
So let's see here. I know there's no sticker up here. Let's see here. So, yeah, it's just a matter of always starting light. That is, even with white fur, you just want that lightness, and then you can go back and add some of the darker areas like we did for the hat. But it is patience. I haven't done any white fur. Well, no, that's not true. I did Eddie on the watercolor paper, but I burned that really light.
Because you're going to add color.
Yeah. So on wood, doing light fur, I haven't done several years. I mean, I had white fur in the raccoon, but that was the same as doing Santa's beard. Putting in the darks that are around it. So.
Oh, Andrew's going to get yelled at.
I hope this is clear.
It is clear.
No, I'm talking about my explanation.
Yes, it is.
Did I cover everything?
I think so.
Well, what I didn't do is...
I think so, but I lose focus and zone out sometimes.
Yes, you
so
do.
I just presume that you've covered it. Why am I here?
Okay, so I'll just do real quick, just this area of the fake fur. Again, we've got some darks. We have some clumps. Those clumps are what we really want to pay attention to. And maybe not burn until we're ready.
Robert says he just loved the raccoon.
Ah, thank you. I'm off screen. So see, these are clumps.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we want to follow. To keep our What is sticking to me?
So, and I think it's an important comment, at least for me, that you're not burning every single strand.
No.
You're just getting the shapes,
Yep.
and then you're defining it so that it reads as that.
Yep.
When I was younger, I was doing an art course, and I misread the instructions. I thought it said that in order for hair to be realistic, you have to draw every single strand. And so for a long time, I was trying to do that, and I didn't realize I had misread it, and it said that you don't have to draw every single strand.
Yeah.
And should not.
Okay, so for this...
So David has a question. I didn't mean to cut you off. I looked at your Word doc for the supply list. Since it's a bit of an investment to start, how long do the tips last on the burners?
Well, as long as you're not using sandpaper on them, I have tips that I've had for 11 years.
Wow.
Let's see here. On my Burnmaster tips, it'll be 2 years in January. The razor tip, though I don't use it very often, 2 years in March. The Coalwood, okay, a year for the Coalwood in March, February.
So
they last. It's not like pencils. As long as you are not burning on high heat constantly, so that the tip is like cherry red.
Yeah.
And not using sandpaper, which I have reshaped tips with sandpaper. As long as you're not doing that, your tips should like always last. You shouldn't have to replace a tip.
Yeah. So Robert's asking to not forget links to your burners because he's definitely getting one.
Oh, okay. I see. You're in Canada. I know razor tip is available up there, but razor tip is not my favorite. I like the Optima, which is what I'm using for today, and my Coalwood. Razor tip is actually my least favorite. But it may be cheaper for Robert up there.
Well, why isn't it your favorite? I'm just curious.
There's a whole bunch to it, but...
Is it in your burning video? Your review?
I need to do a new one.
Okay. Val does have a review video where she talks about different burners, and if you
just a couple.
If you haven't seen those, definitely check them out because they're very helpful, and it might help you make a decision as well.
Well, I have a video on the Coalwood. I need to do the video on the Optima. I need to get that done soon.
Well, you've been testing the Optima.
For a couple months now. It's time to do a review.
Okay.
So right here for the fake fur, I'm trying not to outline, and I know it looks like it's outlined, but for that I can just kind of pull it out a little bit so that it's not quite outlined. And I'm just going with the direction of the fake fur. I haven't upped the heat. I'm still at 2.5. But I'm looking for the abstract shapes. Let's see here. It goes in a little bit.
I think what's interesting is
I actually can bump up the heat.
To what are you bumping it?
3.
3. Okay. I think what's interesting about that when you're talking about the abstract shapes is that there's those shapes in nature that are abstract, and as long as you're replicating them, even though they're abstract shapes, when you're finished, they're going to look like the thing that you're trying to replicate.
Absolutely. Robert, are you on Facebook? Because of Chaldean's group, I can't remember. I do have a file that I uploaded last night. But I will put the Optima link down in the description after the live.
Vicky Sharp is here.
Hi, Vicky. I think she's starting at the beginning. That's why she's...
Oh, sounds fine. Gotcha.
So just trying to get the clumps. So we know it's going all over the place. Now I'm just going to get creative so I can hurry up.
Okay.
Some people do completely freehand their lines on the board. I'm not one of them. I'm too picky.
No. Say it isn't so.
Me? Picky?
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit.
You're specific.
Let's see here. And it's just going to be a matter of building up, just like you would with graphite or colored pencils.
Yeah.
Just building up their shapes. In fact, I can go harder. I don't know why.
So you're at 3 and you just bumped it up?
4.5 now.
4.5.
Mm-hmm.
How do you decide how much to bump up?
I guess. That is kind of goes along with experience. I mean, I know. Actually, I really don't want to guess. That's what I use the scratch board for. My burn board to check, because I do it in tend to do it in half inch or half increments until I get to where I want.
Yeah.
Now that I lifted the pin, it's going to be darker.
So once you get used to the board and the burner and pin that you're using, then you could probably make more intuitive adjustments as well, right?
Yeah, but I would still test just before you lay down that tip, just to make sure that's what you want.
Yeah.
It's easier to use a scrap piece of wood and check.
You do the same thing in airbrushing, because when you're testing a spray line, you want to make sure that everything's working before you commit it.
Yep.
So.
See, I touch down darker here, so I'm just going to try to, I'll say, okay, that's the dark area.
So Esme has to go. She has to run errands, but she'll see you later. It was really cool to see the wood burning live.
Thank you for stopping by. And I'm not going to be going much longer.
Paul made a joke. He's being careful, though. He's staying under the radar.
Is he?
Yeah, he's being good, because he got a gold star.
Oh, we don't want to lose it.
Yeah. So Meg says she just jumped over the group. She says she calls us toasties. I am obsessed. That was from the great torching incident.
Yes, the toasties, that I think Grace came up with that one.
Yeah, because we had been considering what to call the group for a while, and
some things didn't sound very good.
Yeah, you didn't want to call you don't want to call
burners.
a group of artists burners or pyros.
Yeah,
that's some negative connotations there.
Even though that is exactly what we're doing.
Yeah, that's not helping though. You can say that.
My weights aren't.
But yeah, I think toasties is good. It's nice. Yes, Paul says he says he's fear of losing his star. He treasures his star.
He took a lot of work for him to get that star.
Yeah, it's months.
Yeah.
So bye, Esme.
Bye, Esme. Let's see. So really, it's about just getting your shapes. It would have been easier had I actually transferred. Right now, I'm kind of freehanding. And actually, because I'm not paying attention to my reference photo either, because it's not like exact.
So Meg says toasties is a great option. Makes me think of marshmallows.
That's where it came from.
Yeah. If you go back and watch that live, you'll see that.
That was the sunflower, the first torchy one.
Yeah.
And then the second torchy one.
So yeah, you're getting frustrated. It's kind of like dropping the beat.
Yes, I got frustrated.
There were marshmallows involved. So.
Not in the first one. In the second one.
So Robert has to go. He says, "Take care."
Thank you,
See
Robert.
tonight, Val.
Yes. Yes, I will see you tonight.
Paul says, Meg, do not mention marshmallows to Jason. It is not good. Oh, but they are, Paul.
They're
good. So good.
Let's see here. So really, it's just going around your shapes, and because I burned upside down, and I'll flip it, and getting those groups. That's your biggest one. I know it doesn't look like it right now because.
But I can see it though, and yeah, there's a lot more work to be done there.
There is.
But that is the base. Like I said, like a Polaroid photo coming into focus. You know, at first you only see the landmarks. You know, and then you get more details as you bring it into focus, or as it, you know, develops.
Yeah, I think that's a good analogy.
That's the only kind of analogies that I make.
Not often.
Oh.
Aww. You got that line from me, though.
Well, then that would be also good because then I'm referencing you.
This would also be very similar to doing fabric and folds.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
Same process.
A lot of it is just paying attention to your reference photo and really copying the shapes. That is, I think, the biggest. Start off light so that you have room to adjust. And just keep building it up until you're happy with it.
Yeah.
And I saw another post on a Facebook group asking, when do you know you're done? And for me, I am done when I feel like the contrast is in balance, meaning I have my darks and my lights where I want them, and I take a photo so I can look at it on my phone or the tablet. If there's nothing glaring and I don't see anything wrong, leave it for a couple of days and come back to it, and if I'm still happy with it, I seal it so that I don't touch it again 6 months down the road. And that will happen. So I seal it, and I have to be okay with it being done. So
I'm getting some criticism for stealing from you.
Oh,
from stealing your.
These are artists.
I know.
He borrowed. I'll let him off the hook. He borrowed because it was awesome and it came from me, so it's okay.
I love how humble you are.
I love you.
I love you too. Your humility always surprises me.
Oh, I am humble.
I know you are.
Okay.
Paul says he does fine detail with an napalm flamethrower.
Yeah. Not sure about that.
I can see that.
Fine detail, though.
Paul uses, I'm sure, really, really big painting surfaces.
Like what? The size of Connecticut? I mean,
why Connecticut?
It's the first one that popped in my head. Sorry, Connecticut.
Well, there goes our Connecticut subscribers.
Yeah. Okay, so really it's just burning around what you know is really light. And getting your shapes. There's more hair in here. So if you feel like you've covered it up, you could go back with the white and put in those highlights, and it would, if you notice with me putting in the white, it kind of offset your eye and you see less of, how do I want to put this, looking close, it just brings it all together, I think, where white's concerned.
Well, I think when you're dealing with, because I deal with this too in painting, when you're dealing with shading and you're building value, that's like the midtones.
Yeah.
And so that's one end of it, and the highlights are the other end, and you either have to build them in from the beginning, or like you have with the whisker, or which you probably highlight on top of that as well. But
I haven't in the past, but I'm gonna start trying.
But
just to see what it looks like.
But the highlighting is the other part of that. It helps bring more depth to it.
Yeah.
In those midtones.
So dark pencil. There's some sticker here, but I am liking the. Even if it was a light cat, I think I would only put the white for the whisker. I think it works, and I don't know how kind of see it. But this way, because even a whisker has a highlight on it. Mm-hmm. So if you have a really sharp pencil, you can get that small highlight and make it stand out more. Let's see if I can get this any sharper. Okay, so fake fur. Guess the high highlights. And I know some people may not want to use the white, and that's okay. If you don't want to use it, just take your time and turn around. Let's see here. And even here, I'm not drawing in every hair, just. Let's see here. Let's see, put that in there. It's kind of the main one.
Yeah.
But it does make it really stand out, I think. I'm liking it. In the past, I haven't used it, so. But I do like the look of just using white. And there are different whites out there. This one's Chinese white. Let's see how. No, it's not as the Derwent Chinese white is not as bright as the Prismacolor. But okay. I mean, it works. So if you have it, but do the burning first, and then go back over with your white.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's. If you want to. If you want to. If not, you're just going to have to put more time in than what I'm doing. Yeah. It's hard for a live with the time I need for me to do what I really want to do.
But I think it's a good tutorial. I think it's good information.
It's a long tutorial. I don't know. I kind of feel like I missed the mark on this one. But it's going to be okay. Yeah. This has to be okay. So, do we have any more questions?
That's a good question.
It's the only kind I have.
There you go again.
Yeah, some different ideas on burning light and white fur. The biggest one is that I can say is take your time.
Taking your time.
Having a good outline down.
Good outline.
If you get your lines on your drawing accurate, it makes your burning a whole lot easier.
So much easier. Oh, actually, we got a question.
Yes, please.
Wow, we got questions. David asks if burning lighter and slowly building to dark is the best, and why do the burners go up to such a high setting, and when would you set it that high?
Well, not everybody burns flat. Some people burn gourds, which require a little higher heat. Different woods burn at different heat settings. I don't think I have never put a burner to 10. Because it's just too much. That is a good question. It's just to give options so that one burner can work for different pyrographers. Wood carving is going to require different settings as well. I'm a flat work pyrographer, so I don't have to worry so much about undercutting and caricatures and carvings. I've only done 2 gourds.
Well, I think too, just from a technical standpoint, that any control knob, it's like a volume knob. You know, it's going to be the lowest increment to the highest increment, and it's usually from 1 to 10. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, no 11s on these.
Yeah. And then Ian Jackson has a question: can you stain the wood white and then burn through it?
No. It is toxic and can ruin your tips. I would never, and that's why I didn't go back and touch. There's things I could still work on for Santa Claus here, but because I already laid that white down.
Or Dave Grohl.
I won't touch that again with a burner.
Okay.
There's a lot of pigments that are toxic, and though they're safe to use, as in watercolors or acrylics or oils or pencils, they're safe to use in that manner, but the minute you hit them with heat, you change the chemical makeup of it. And then you also disperse that toxic makeup into fumes that you breathe in. Never. Did I say never?
So
like never.
Not often?
Like never.
Oh.
Your burning has to come first. You have to complete that burning and then add your color. That is the only safe way to do it. I've seen other suggestions and it bothers me, and I'm trying to nicely dispel that. But no, you would have to burn and then add your whitewash.
Ian says no 11. No, I think in the future though, I think that eventually we'll have to commission a burner that gets it up to 11 for you.
Oh, okay. Well, one of these days I'd like to have a custom burner made for me and then available on the market.
That would be awesome.
So I will keep 11 in mind.
Grace says, future video, Val turns it up to 10.
I don't know what I would do with it. It would be hard for me to use. I don't have to use a glove burning. But even on 10 with the professional burners,
Paul says
hot.
That'd be one crazy, crazy night, Grace.
Yes, it would. I would have to use a glove for any length of time because these pens at 10 do get really hot.
Yeah.
And hard to hold. So I would have to do that. Have we got anything else?
I don't think so. I don't see anything else.
Does everybody feel like I covered it okay? I know it's kind of hard to explain it.
Paul says, do you actually mean never, Val? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I know I was having the same problem,
A
Paul.
little bit of never. Yeah. A little bit of never. I mean, because could you imagine laying down cadmium and then burning over it?
Oh.
Yeah.
Cadmium. Well, that's from nature. That's not toxic at all. Right?
Cadmium?
Yeah.
It's a toxic metal. They use. There's cadmium hue, magnesium. All of those are toxic. California, if there was a big old stop sign or CL sign on it.
I was being oblivious.
Intentionally?
I felt like I fell into that trap. The way that you looked at me. She looked at me like, you fool! Silence! Jody M says, I forgot you were streaming. And Jim Scale says, hello. Thanks for your posting. I can't stay, but I'll watch later.
Well, we're actually finishing up now.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get the look off my face. I can't believe you said that.
That's a joke that backfired.
Oh, big time. That's good. Yeah.
See, Grace got it. Nature can't be toxic. Thanks, Grace.
It isn't covered. We can still see it. Okay. I'm going to be good now. I got to go work on the bear cub.
Yeah.
And then hang out with Hildine in group tonight. Thanks, Meg. Okay, then. So if we don't have any more questions, I think we're going to finish it up here. Thank you for stopping by, and hopefully this has helped you on your burning adventure. If you're new here, please click the subscribe button and the little notification bell so you never miss a video. Also, please like up this video and leave a comment and any questions. What are you
I
doing?
wanted to say something.
Okay.
Hubcap never gets to say anything.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Okay, I just want to say that we really appreciate the community and that it's a really kind community.
It is.
And
I love our
supportive,
community.
and we appreciate everything that you do and your support. And we appreciate being here with you just as much as when you stop by, and as much as you're appreciated. Hopefully you're appreciating it, but we really appreciate you.
Okay. Happy burning, guys. Bye.
Bye.